Hi everybody, Rodney Brown here. This is the first part of a few little spots in Thunder Bay where I grew up, and I thought I'd tell you a little bit about my songs and my music and stuff. I was born in 1954, and I think I moved into this house that isn't here anymore in around 1955-56. I lived in a basement apartment for a while. And my dad had all kinds of jobs. He worked here at Canada Car, but he was also worked in a boiler room for the steam for a ship. And anyways, you can't see the house anymore. It was somewhere in here, and the house that I grew up in for my first 10 years was actually a restaurant at one time. And in this house, my dad had his guitar in the corner of the living room, and there was always music. There was always my dad would often play. My mom listened to records all the time. Elvis Presley, Gail Garnett, We'll Sing in the Sunshine. But I learned how to sing 3-part harmonies with my 2 sisters and my dad in this house, sitting on the couch, singing old gospel songs. And then we would take our little band into the church, Broadway United Church, and we sang there, other places in the neighborhood. And it was just really, really fun. And I got my first guitar ever in this house when I was 7 years old. I didn't actually learn how to play, but I kind of pretended that I would play. And my old hood. And if you go up this street and turn right, in 2 blocks, there's the Kaministiquia River. And those of you who know my Kaministiquia song, there's a part where I talk about being a kid and living here, and at a time when the river is probably the most polluted. And we used to go down to the river with my friends and I and shoot rocks at all the dead fish that would float by. And and then after 10-15 years after that, I lived on the upper end of the Cam River, and it's so beautiful, but always thought back to this part of the river where the mill is and stuff. A very industrial area. My dad was a World War II vet. He had trouble with alcohol, was an alcoholic, and he finally joined AA and sobered up, and that's when we moved away from here and we got a house more in the center of town. But this is probably the westest corner of Thunder Bay where you could live. Our house was heated by coal. We didn't have running hot water. We didn't have a bathtub. We had a tub that we would put in the middle of the room beside the heater and get cleaned that way. But a happy childhood nonetheless. It was a great neighborhood growing up here, all kinds of characters, just amazing. But anyways, this is where I kind of got my start in being a kid. We played in the bush over there. It's called White Bush. And we used to walk here across the first set of tracks, across the next set of tracks, and a field, and then onto Crawford School. A lot of some of the older houses like mine have been taken down. But we lived in a house that was probably here when they were making airplanes at Canada Car. And like I say, it was a restaurant at one time. Really cool neighborhood. Used to be called Superior Street. It's very short, it's only 2 blocks long. Probably nothing really superior about this street. They changed the name to Stapleton after a while. I always thought it was a cruel joke calling it Superior Street because we're so kind of far away from the lake. No, it was definitely not superior.